Welcome to our review on using carbon fuels. So when we're considering combustion, there are two types. We can have complete combustion, which happens when there's plenty of oxygen available, and that's illustrated by the picture on the left hand side with the very blue Bunsen flame. Or we get incomplete combustion, and this is what happens when there's not enough oxygen, and that's what you can see on the right hand side in the picture of the Bunsen burner with that yellow flame. What we have here then is the general word equation for the incomplete combustion of a hydrocarbon. So we've got hydrocarbon plus oxygen makes carbon monoxide plus carbon plus water. Now they may give you a question along the lines of methane burns in oxygen to produce carbon monoxide, carbon and water. Write a word equation for this. So all you need to do is obviously write down methane plus oxygen, put your arrow in, carbon monoxide plus water plus carbon, and that will then get you your 1 mark for it. So just read the question carefully, remember to put in your pluses and your arrow, and then you'll get your mark. Carbon monoxide is something we need to know a little bit more about. So first of all, we need to know a little bit about this gas. It's a colourless, tasteless, odourless gas, so that means it's got no smell, and it is poisonous. So if you breathe in too much carbon monoxide, then you could die. So this is very important to make sure that we've not got anything that generates carbon monoxide in our homes. And the way that we can avoid having carbon monoxide being given off by any of our gas appliances is, number one, by having them regularly serviced, and secondly, by having a carbon monoxide alarm in our homes, so that if any carbon monoxide is coming out of our appliance, we get a warning so we can then deal with it. When working out which is the best fuel to use in any given situation, we need to consider 7 different factors. So the availability of the fuel, how easy it is to get, the cost, the energy value, which just tells us how much energy it releases, the pollution, so is this going to contribute to the greenhouse effect and acid rain, how easy it is to use, its toxicity, so if it's poisonous or not, and how easy it is to store. Now the kind of question you're likely to get here is a table that summarises some of those key factors. So the table I've given you there shows you coal, fuel oil and natural gas, and it has a little evaluation about those 7 different factors. So what you could actually do is, looking down there, you decide which fuel fits with the scenario you're given. So you might have to justify it, in which case you'd be looking, and if you're picking out advantages and disadvantages, then looking at coal first of all, we can see that it has a high pollution, so that's obviously a disadvantage there. Whereas if we're looking at the advantages, if we look at fuel oil, then we can see it has a high energy value, so that means it's going to release a large amount of energy per kilogram of fuel that we burn. So when you get one of these questions with a table, make sure you read carefully to see whether they want you to give advantages or disadvantages or a combination of both, and then use the information from the table.